Hello gearheads, nice to see you again. For this week's episode, we have a stunner of a car. This is the Mercedes AMG GTS, driven right here in our Sepang circuit. Then for the next segment, we take a look at the biggest auto mall in the country, and we want to see if you have the budget for a car in mind that is brand new. Well, here are some great options for you to choose from. Enjoy! Now, any car company that produces a sports car in this world wants to do one thing and one thing only, and that is to produce a 911 Beta if you're not Porsche already. Well, lucky for us here in Malaysia, Mercedes-Benz has just introduced its version of the 911 Beta. Guys, please meet the Mercedes AMG GTS. Now, this is a cracking car, and it is as red hot as this red paint, and we are going to be taking it around Sepang for an exclusive to see how this car really performs. Take one look at this car and you know exactly what you're looking at, and it is no mistake that this is an AMG performance thoroughbred. There's no denying that when you're looking at this car, it is supposed to look as dynamic as it can from every single angle possible. But the best angle is definitely from the side, where you get to see this long bonnet that just tells you a great story of what is waiting inside, underneath the front mid-engine layout of this car. And then the sweeping roof tails down to the very athletic looking rump at the back, and it's just a very svelte looking design. Now, looking at it, you realize very quickly that this car shares its lineage with the great Mercedes sports cars. What we have over here today is the AMG GTS Edition 1, and that is a limited run special version available to some early customers here in Malaysia. Now, what do you get with the Edition 1? A lot of goodies that are just so exotic, from the larger front splitters and the wheel arch slicks, right down to the black grills up front, and then you've got the carbon fiber treatment for the roof and that big non-movable spoiler at the back. Those are some of the stuff that you get with the Edition 1. But design wise, come on man, this car is just so bouncy. It's long and it's squat. It makes you think, even at a standstill, that this car is blindingly fast. Step inside and very quickly you will realize that the sexiness of the AMG GTS is continued inside, and this is a true blue AMG car. Now, we realize that some people may say that the AMG cars don't look too different from the regular cars, but in this setup, in this car, you definitely know that this is something completely bespoke and very special indeed. The first thing is, your view is going to be drawn to the center console over here. It is a V with 8 buttons. Guess what? It's supposed to remind you of the V8 up front, which is actually not too far away from where we're sitting. So this is a very clever but very bold architecture to remind you of what you have to play with. The buttons are all very easily laid out, and it's just looking very nice. The leather and the metal surfaces in here is just top notch. It's really high quality stuff. Then you get Alcantara seat and also steering wheel. The seats themselves are very comfortable, and they look brilliant with the metal inserts in there. And it just gives you a sense of occasion and tells you that you're here to do one thing and one thing only, which is to look forward and just drive this car as fast and as best as you can. So the door is actually concave to give you a little bit more space. You actually have a little bit of wiggle space in here. Now, talking about doors, you will realize that the sills are actually very wide. Nonetheless, the length of the door actually gives you a pretty nice aperture, so ingress and egress is not as difficult as, say, in a Lotus. So it's still manageable. Now, inside here, you also get a host of exotic materials. You've got brushed metal, shiny metal, and also carbon fiber treatment. Of course, the leather and the Alcantara just feels great to the touch. and the fabric roof lining is also done very, very neatly and very, very nicely. In place of the gear lever, you have Mercedes's onboard computer system with this tracker and also trackpad over here, which works wonderfully well, and the gear lever is then pushed back, really because you don't actually need to access it, because you only need it for park, reverse, neutral and drive. Everything else is done via paddle shifters up front over here. And you also get the Merc, typical Merc style. It looks like an iPad that has been put there, but this is in fact the screen for the Mercedes AMG GTS, and it looks the business. It just looks wonderful along with the rest of the car. It just tells you that this is something truly, truly special. But we just need to take this for a drive. So, here we go. Alright then guys, moment of truth for us to be driving this fantastic car, which the drivers here call the Beast, and it is just a magnificent piece of kit, seriously. All right, let me crunch numbers for you. Well, actually, I'm not going to crunch numbers. All you need to remember is that it comes with a turbocharged V8 up front, and we do have a long bonnet up ahead of us, so technically this car is supposed to feel very, very front heavy. But guess what? It actually does not feel so, because it feels extremely well balanced. You get the sense that this car is very compact. It doesn't feel like it's monstrously big, and it just feels so well balanced. But the best thing about this car, seriously, is the sound. Listen to this. Ah, my goodness! The sound is just so addictive. As I head into a corner, I'm gonna brake hard. Ah, it just... You know you can have a lot of fun with this car, but at the same time you know that it just catches whatever it is that you throw at it, and it just catches it really, really well. It feels so well balanced. It's so easy to take this slide. It's amazing. And you can also, you know, flick the tail out a little bit and really have some fun with some power slides. But seriously, the power is delivered to you in such a addictive way, and I find myself using the word addictive a lot. It is just so, it's guttural, the grunt is amazing, and you definitely know that wow, the speed just whooshes up, and I don't even have the pedal to the metal. It's amazeballs. Alright, as I take this corner, you'll definitely be able to feel the balance of the car as you take corners. Seriously, man, you don't feel like you're throwing the car and the car is pushing you to do something that you can't do. Ah, yeah, man. Woo! So the Mercedes AMG GTS is just something completely new and completely robust, but it is dynamically fun. I don't have enough experience driving it, but the guys who have tells me that the setup of this car, the balance, it just feels phenomenal. The way it hugs the road, the way the front just goes exactly where you want it to be. It just tells you that this car is meant for exhilarating fun on track, but also it's something that you can live with on a daily basis. Is this the perfect sports car? Well, it only costs 1.2 million ringgit for you to find out, but you know what? In my opinion, the short time I've spent with this, it's 1.2 million ringgit well spent.